How much do we need something like an infrastructure spend?
Well, it clearly would be beneficial, although I do think we need to be careful about targeting where we need help. For example, you mentioned road quality. Actually, the evidence suggests that the share of our road surface that is rated good or better has increased from a third to a half over the past couple decades. So it's not where it should be, but there has been improvement. I think clearly the issue is not whether there's needed infrastructure investment. The question is how to do it and how to make sure it's effective and efficient.
Well, let's start first with where it's needed. If it's not necessarily the roads, where do we need it?
In airports, commercial rail, and then the question becomes how broad the definition of infrastructure one is employing. So broadband, et cetera. Again, clearly a need, but one of the things that is important to emphasize is it's not just about getting the money up front to make the investment. Operations and maintenance costs are somewhere about half of the total cost of infrastructure investments, and unless you have a financing scheme that pays for those operations and maintenance costs, just getting the upfront money isn't going to do the trick. And unfortunately, the upfront money is where too much of the policy focus has been historically.
Jason, go ahead, Michelle.
I was going to ask, getting it done right, I like your point about that. The frustration is we give money to Congress all the time for infrastructure, but we don't seem to get more infrastructure. There's something wrong with the funding mechanism. How do we fix it?
You know, we've experimented with some more creative funding mechanisms. There's a highway program called TIFIA that offers loan guarantees that can leverage up money and take your dollars further. There's something that we started in the Obama administration called Tiger Grants, which actually asks projects to do a cost-benefit analysis to look at whether or not you're getting the returns that you want. But I do think part of the problem is that we simply aren't spending enough money. There's a lot of projects out there that would pass a cost-benefit test. There's a lot of road maintenance that would pass a cost-benefit test. As a share of our economy, we're actually spending a lot less on infrastructure today than a few decades ago. Yeah.
Don't the most powerful members of Congress often end up being able to get more infrastructure money in their districts simply because of who they are?
You know, there's less of that now. We got rid of earmarks, but I agree there's too much of this money, misallocated in ways that don't make economic sense. That's why, for example, if you required every state to do cost-benefit analysis on their projects, right now it's done on about 20% of projects. If we did it on a lot more, we'd be putting that money in better places than we do today.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.